Okay guys, we're going to do the 50-hour maintenance on our John Deere S140. And what that's going to consist of is that's going to consist of oil change, filter, checking the air filter. I'm sure some would say, you might as well change that. Well, I'm just going to blow it out. You know, it's my mower, damn it. But no, the air filter, I checked it not too long ago. It looks a little dirty. I can knock it out, blow it out, and it'll be good for a while. We also have to change the blades because they are dull. I've been doing some clearing out there and it's just been doling out really quick. But first, I gotta clean this thing off. Let's give it a good wash. And one thing I want to include in this wash is the engine. As you can see, it is dirty. Use the heck out of this thing. Out here, it gets very, very dirty. Everything's sealed up, so I should be able to spray this out, no problem. We even have a spark plug for this guy. Yeah, man. We're going to do a full inspection. We're going to drain the oil, change the oil filter, all that stuff. We're going to do it right here on Cobra Vids. Stay with us. Well, alrighty guys, as you can see, we got her all cleaned up. She looks really good. You know, I had someone say, you shouldn't spray your mower down like that. Well, you know, I got news for you. These things sit out in the rain and they get wet and all that. So, you know what? Plus, it's my mower. So, I'll spray it down. Got to keep it clean, right? Especially when it does such a great job at clearing, mowing your lawn. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get the mower pulled into the garage. And we're going to start draining the oil and taking the plug out, doing all that stuff that we need to get done with this mower. I don't know where the oil comes out at, but I guess do a little bit of searching here. We're going to find out. We're going to drain it. All right, first let's get it started so it dries out a little bit before we pull it in. All righty, so we got it running here. There's a low aisle. Still running good. 50.7, guys. Oh no, I went over my 50 mile, or I always want to say 50 miles. That's funny. 50 hour. Alrighty. Well, we're going to go ahead and shut that off right there, and we're going to go ahead and get it up into the garage. Alright, well, we're back in the garage now. Or actually, we're in the garage. First time. Alright, so now the engine is warmed up, so although everything's lubricated and everything, and that's something I like to do, is run an engine a little bit before I change the oil. So when I dump out the oil, everything's still lubricated. So when you fire the engine up again, things are still lubricated, so you don't have to worry about dry starting your motor. So, all right. So first of all, we're going to pull up the air filter. The air filter is right here. And this should be very similar to just about every S-Class mower John Deere has. So if you have the 130 and the 180, I think it is, it should be very similar. All right, as you can see, this filter is pretty dirty. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock it. Oh, look at that dust is just flying out of it. I'm going to knock it out and reuse it. I'll probably take the air compressor and blow it out some so it's all nice and clean. Alright guys, well this filter definitely needs change, so I'm definitely going to get it changed, but I can't do anything right about it right now. So I'm going to order one that's much dirtier than I thought it was. It didn't knock out very clean at all, so we're going to replace it, but I'm going to need it for the job I'm going to do out on the property tomorrow, so I'm going to have to use it until I get it. But it comes in and out just like that. You know, there's a little retainer clip or little lip right there that you have to like push it inward to clip, kind of like a battery when you're putting a battery in, just like that. And that's pretty much it. All right, so now what we have to do is check out the oil. Okay, this oil is, it doesn't look too bad. If I put it on my finger, that's not too bad, but it is at the 50-hour mark, so it's definitely needing an oil change. I got oil, so no problem at all. We're going to get it done. But let's concentrate on the spark plug now. Spark plug is right here, so we'll pop off that there. Spark plug looks a little, nope, that's just dirt. Oh my goodness, that's crazy, huh? All right, so let's see if we can find a spark plug socket to fit that. All right, well, let's hope this is the right size. Yep, looks like the right size. Let's go ahead and pull it out. See what this spark plug looks like. Okay, spark plug looks pretty good for being used. I don't see any issues. Whoa, focus. I don't see any issues with it as far as engine issues. Just a lot of carbon from, you know. It looks pretty good for a 4-stroke engine as well. There's just some carbon buildup. There's no oil, no water. Yeah. Yeah. Let me go get the new one and we'll compare them. Alrighty, guys. I bought this new spark plug from eBay. And it comes in a nice little John Deere baggie, right? You know, when I buy OEM spark plugs for my Jetta, it says VW on it, right? But nowhere on it does it say John Deere. Just a Champion. Okay. Let's see. Compare the two. Champion XCS. No, XC9 2YC. So it is factory plug, so that's good. 10 points for the seller. And now we compare the gap. And boy, look at the gap. Look at the gap difference. Not too much. Almost the same. This electrode's a little worn out. You can tell it's kind of deteriorate a little bit, but it's supposed to be pre-gapped. That's what they said. It's ready to install, so we're going to go ahead and put this spark plug in, just like we took it out. And this is actually torqued just like any other lawnmower spark plug. You stick your spark plug socket on there. Bring it till it hits the head. Right? And you just crush that washer a little bit and you call it good. There you go. It's done. All right, so the only thing left to do is to change the oil and the oil filter. So we're going to have to go down under and check it out from below. Ready, guys? Ready, set, go! All right, so we got this plug on there and snap back in there. So the other one is done exactly the same. The other one's on the same side, same spot on the other side, and it's just as easy to remove. We don't have to show that one. All right, guys, the drain plug for the oil is, let me zoom out. This is what I would call the passenger side. We just changed that spark plug. So it's back in here, this little doodad here, that's where you drain the oil from. Okay, and I've never done this. This is my first time, so let me look and see how that happens. Well, guys, here's a word of warning. I thought this was going to be a cap to protect the drain plug. Well, no, this is the drain plug. So I made a little mess when it started gushing out, but there's the oil coming out. So when you pop that off, be ready for the oil to pop out. If I knew that it would do that, well, you know, maybe I should have looked at the owner's manual. What owner's manual? We throw all those damn things away. So that's how the oil comes out. So we're just going to let it drain out. That's kind of cool. It just splashed a little bit, made a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. It's okay. That's what a garage is for. I'm going to get something to sop up that spillage there. Be right back. All right, so now we're down to a little trickle. It's actually stopping and going. Chip, 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 like a fast drop. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that off because we got more work to do. We got to do the oil filter next. Boy, that's going to be fun. So let's go ahead and let this finish draining up. I'll put the cap back on it. And one thing I will say about the cap, because I won't show it, is when you put the cap on, make sure you twist it so that those little tabs lock in there so that it doesn't pop off on you while you're mowing. That will be kind of fun, huh? Whee! Okay, guys, well, here's the oil filter. It's down in here on the driver's side of the engine. I know it's kind of weird for some to hear it called driver's side when it's a damn mower, but that's just how I differentiate between left and right, because anyone that, anyone that lives in America will know that driver's side means what I intend it to mean. So that I don't say left or right. And someone's saying, well, are you talking about if you're standing in front of the car or if you're sitting inside the car? Well, this way you'll know. Because driver's side is driver's side, right? So that's why you hear me call it driver's side. Well, all right, so since I know oil is going to come out of this oil filter, I'm going to put my towel up underneath it to catch some of the oil so it doesn't spill all over the frame. Let me get that set up in there and I'll show you how I did it. All right, so here it is right there. I got the towel underneath it and far back underneath the engine block where the filter attaches to. So now first I'm going to try to twist it off with my hands. If I can't do it, then I'll get some big vice grips and, or not vice grips, channel locks, and I'll get it off that way. I do not have a tool that fits something that small. So let's go ahead and get it off. All right, so a pair of channel locks works nicely with these small filters. My son-in-law had changed his oil here and we didn't have a wrench for the oil filter, so I gave him those channel locks and it works just fine, and it's definitely going to work fine right here. So now I can twist it off with my hands and it's going to start dripping on that towel. You can see it right there. You can't help these sideways filters. They're always going to have oil remaining inside the filter, no matter how much you drain oil out of the engine. So we'll go ahead and dump what we got in there. Okay, just like that. I need to get something to place over my container so that it'll hold the filter up but allow it to drip through like a screen. All right, as you can see, it did make a mess, but not too bad at all. Go ahead and see now a lot of people will wipe it up. If this was crusty, dirty, rusty oil or whatever, or contaminated oil, I might wipe that up. But what that's going to do is that's going to help a good seal. Here's my new filter. I'm not using John Deere filters. This is a JDM Speed motor. It's an aftermarket, but from what I can tell, it's identical to the John Deere. I've read great things about them, and we're going to go ahead and use it. So, all right, we'll just screw this in here just like we got the other one off, except this time we won't have oil spilling out. Okay. And once I get it up against the engine block, just like your car oil filter, I'll snug it up and I'll pull my rag out of here. Okay, so you can see that a lot of oil came out of there, and that would have went all over my frame. Some did, believe me. I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging about a clean job, because it's always going to dribble some. But as long as you try your best to be clean, you'll be as clean as you try. Something like that. All right, so I'm going to finish snugging up. Okay, I need 2 hands to snug that up, just enough to where it's not going to leak. Isn't that cute? The JDM logo is exactly where the John Deere logo was. But alrighty. Okay, and here's the fuel filter. Whoops, right there's the fuel filter. Well, let's get some oil in it now, and then we'll be able to fire this baby up and go back to using it. Alrighty guys, this engine takes 2 quarts, and we pretty much drained the hell out of this engine, so we're going to go ahead and call it empty. So we're going to put 2 quarts, and this engine takes 1030 oil. And I know the owner's manual will say something like use this special oil, but okay, we got 5 gallons here, or 5 quarts here, so we're going to pour down to where it says 3 quarts left, and that will mean that we got 2 quarts in. And the cool thing about buying it in a 5 quart jug like that is you got enough for another oil change and a half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dipstick back in to seal up the hole, put my funnel back, and now we're going to go ahead and fire this baby up. We're going to run it to cycle oil through the whole thing. We're going to let it set for a few minutes, and then we're going to check the oil, make sure that it is good. So here we go. Alright, so now we got oil spread throughout the engine. The oil filter is full. So now let me get a rag and we'll check the oil. First, we always give it a courtesy wipe. Anyone out there give courtesy flushes when you're like at the office and you're sitting taking a big old dump? Do you ever flush just to get rid of that stank? I never do. They love me at the office. Alrighty, so after running the engine, it is right in the middle of those 2 lines. You see those 2 dots there? Whoops, I dripped. Right there, you can see one is covered up and the other is open. Well, that's because right between those is where you should sit, and I'm right in the middle of it, if not a little high. So I think it's good. So let's go run it and see how it does. It sure runs really good. Runs better. But I still got to replace that air filter. So I think I'm going to go ahead and order the air filter and the fuel filter just to where I can get it all serviced so it's good for another 50 hours, which will be another year, another season. All right. I'll catch you out at the property. Here we go, we're at the property. Oh, things haven't grown up too much. Not bad. It's just I gotta get rid of our trees, and the only way to get rid of those growths is to remove the stumps. Anyway. Nice. Woohoo! Well, alrighty guys, that's gonna pretty much wrap it up. On the 50-hour John Deere maintenance. Supposed to do this every 50 hours. Full oil change, filter change, spark plugs, air filter, and fuel filter. I didn't get the fuel filter because honestly I totally forgot about it when I was ordering parts for it. And that air filter, I thought I was going to be able to reuse it because I pulled it out just a few hours back. I'd say maybe 5 to 8 hours back, and it looked really good. But now it's trash, so I've got to replace it. But anyway, guys, if you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, or criticisms, please leave them down below in the comments. Until then, guys, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Like this video so it can be shared with all sorts of guys out there that have this mower. And we'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, guys.